Let's talk about some under-the-radar prospects in the New York Mets organization. Well, welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Watu-K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. Reminder, we go live every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Come on down and join the fun. We've got trivia, we've got analysis, we got a great chat. You know, whatever's going on in the world of New York sports, if it moves me, I will talk about it. All right, well, I came on here today to talk a little bit about the New York Mets minor league prospects. Now, last offseason, I did a little bit of a prospect preview. I did a bunch of videos breaking down individual prospects. People really seem to like that. So I'm going to do it again this year. I'm actually going to do a countdown of what I feel the 20 best prospects in the New York Mets organization, and that top 20 prospect list will be released in the next couple weeks, I would say, over a series of videos. Not sure I'm going to break it down, but I'm thinking it'll be 2 or 3 videos breaking it all down. I don't want to do all 20 on one video. But this is going to be sort of the precursor to that. I wanted to highlight 5 Mets prospects that you may or may not know, but these aren't the mainly known guys. Like, these aren't the Jet Williams and the Drew Gilberts and the Luis Angel Acuñas. These aren't those guys. We're going to go a little bit under the radar. Maybe guys who aren't going to be stars by any stretch, but in the need of a call-up, in need of an injury, these might be players the Mets might call up to the Major League roster this season. So let's get to know some of these guys a little bit, why don't we? The first player I want to talk about is Matt Rudic. Matt Rudic, 25-year-old center fielder, drafted in 2021 in the 13th round, has been playing in the Eastern League. Very good bat-to-ball skills. Last year, he had 46 walks and just 42 strikeouts. So this is one of those players who's really good at extending it at bat, fouling pitches off, frustrating a pitcher, excuse me. You know, there's a little bit of Jeff McNeil, a little bit of Luis Guillorme in this guy. But last year, he started to develop a little bit more power. You know, he had 12 home runs last year. That was a career high for him. And his on-base percentage was over 400, which is really good. And his OPS, on-base plus slugging, was 766. You know, pretty good. Did have an injury last season, but if you need a quick fill-in in the outfield, you know, a piece off the bench, break glass in case of emergency, Matt Rudic could be a player you see with the New York Mets. The second player I want to talk about is a little bit on the older side, Luke Ritter. 27-year-old second baseman, drafted in 2019 in the 7th round. This guy's got some power. Had 27 home runs in 107 games last year. He was actually named the AA Eastern Player of the Week from June 5th to June 11th. Went on a great power surge. I said that he was a second baseman, but in reality, Luke Ritter can play just about any position in the infield that you need him to. And there was a good chance he was going to get called up, if not for an injury that he suffered kind of late in the season. The big knock on Ritter, his strikeout rate is just a little bit too high. 42% of the time he strikes out. So he's kind of one of those all or nothing players. If he could get a little bit more contact, I think he would he'd have a bigger role and might have already seen the major leagues. So Luke Ritter. The third player I want to talk about is Joseperoza. Not Joseperaza with the beard, not that guy. This is a 23-year-old third baseman, can play second base if needed. This guy's just a hitting machine. Okay, from April to June, he was playing in Binghamton with the Rumble Ponies. Had an OPS of 905. Very nice number. Even got a little bit of time in Syracuse for the first time in his career. So that's somebody who's a little bit younger. The downside, not too different than Luke Ritter, is the strikeouts. Had 135 strikeouts last season. So when you only have so much power, Peroza's got a little bit of power, but if you don't have a lot of, you can handle the strikeouts if you're hitting home runs, and that's the thing that Peroza has to cut back on, is the strikeouts. All right, the number 4 player I want to talk about today is Rowdy Jordan. Rowdy Jordan was basically the cleanup hitter for Binghamton's team last year that I believe made the AA World Series, made the championship series. He's a 24-year-old switch-hitting left fielder, and this guy could do a little bit of everything. Drafted in the 11th round in 2021. Like I said, played a major role in the success of Binghamton. You know, the typical lineup would be like Acuna, then Gilbert. Jordan would usually be, I think, in the 4 spot. But he had a 733 OPS, and here's what I like. He had 30 extra base hits, and he also had 30 stolen bases. So he can hit. He can hit with power. He can run as well. He hits from both sides of the plate. So Jordan is a pretty good piece to have if you're looking for sort of an all-around type of player. He is expected to start this season in Syracuse with the AAA team. That's number 4. Now I'm going to give you a pitcher here, and the pitcher that I'm going to give you is Tyler Stewart, the 6th round draft in 2022. That's where he was picked. And Stewart's a tall guy, 6'9", 250 pounds. Now he's been kind of coming up. You know, last year he led the minors with a 1.55 ERA through 14 starts for the High A Brooklyn Cyclones. In July, he gets promoted to Binghamton and starts to find carves out a role for himself in that Rumble Pony starting rotation. Now, I want to talk about Stewart a little bit because, you know, the Mets are a little bit low on prospects when it comes to the pitching. And they very well could need, you know, a fill-in starter or a fill-in reliever at some point this season. And Stewart might be a guy who could do that. So he's really a fastball slider pitcher. He started to use the changeup a little bit more. This is the type of pitcher who really is going to need 3 pitches to be successful. If he can only get the 2, the fastball slider, count on him becoming a reliever, which is actually what he did in college at Southern Mississippi. And he uses his slider extensively. He uses it about 50% of the time, and it's got great sweep. It breaks pretty hard. Has that, I guess, 2-plane break that they call it. Also a sinker that he throws in the low 90s, and that helps him get a very good ground ball rate. So he gets some swings and misses on the slider, gets weak contact on that sinking fastball, and that's why his ERA was so good in High A. All right, now his changeup has been taking kind of a back seat, but he's going to have to really develop that changeup if he's going to make it in AAA or even in the majors. So Tyler Stewart, that's a pitcher that I'm going to watch out for. I want to see how he does in Binghamton, see if he can work his way through the minor leagues this season, and maybe towards the end of the season, maybe you see him get a call-up with the Mets. All right, well, those are 5 sort of under-the-radar Mets prospects I wanted to talk about. They're going to rank outside my top 20, but I wanted to give them a little bit of attention. Thanks, everybody, for watching this video, and I'll see you right back here with more content from you-know-where. The Wicker Chair.